Joe's Reviews! Sometimes I review shit and sometimes I don't.
Hello, and welcome to my Killing Floor review. Killing Floor is a co-op zombie shooter developed by Tripwire Interactive and available on Steam. You see, there are three kinds of horror games. Those that immerse the player into the experience by putting them into the shoes of the main character, having them experience horrific nightmarish events while giving the player a feeling of tension through isolation in the game's environment, letting the player's imagination get the better of them and causing them a feeling of small anxiety which will eventually escalate to fear. Games like the early Silent Hill games and Eternal Darkness do a great job of doing this. Then we have games that are just really bloody action shooters that have the player commit mass genocide of baddies full of raspberry jam, while the environment looks like some random dude came in with a menstruating fire hose and started spewing blood all over the place. That would be your games like your Resident Evils, your Dead Space, your Left 4 Deads, and your Crash Bandicoots. Oh wait, Crash Bandicoot is a linear 3D platformer, not a horror game. Sorry about that. These kinds of games are usually not scary at all, but some of them are a lot of fun to play. Then we have the third kind of horror game. Games that are so horrendously bad that the poor quality will give those who play it nightmares over the mere thought of even having to think to play them ever again. Killing Floor happens to belong in the second category of horror game. While the game isn't scary at all, this game's fun as hell. Okay, review's over, play end credits. Nah, I'm just kidding. Let's review Killing Floor. Killing Floor originally started out as a mod for Unreal Tournament, but its popularity made it so they turned it into an actual game. Yay! The game's story is pretty much this obviously evil corporation called Horizon Biotech was trying to clone humans to create super soldiers, but the plan goes completely to shit, but instead they make these horrible monstrosities by mistake. These monstrosities kill every living thing in England, so it's up to 6 losers with horrendously cheesy voice acting to slaughter them all. So there really isn't much of a story to this game, but this isn't Mass Effect, or that new zombie game that's so popular right now, where the core engagement of the game is its story. No, the core engagement of this game is mowing down seamlessly endless waves of baddies with a gun, or a chainsaw, or dwarven axe. Moving on. Each game starts out with the 6 players having no armor, no money, and no weapons, besides a bitch pistol and a knife. But the only use the knife has is for running faster. Other than that, it's kinda useless. Then zombies show up, or specimen, as this game likes to call them, start coming in waves. Then they start out in low numbers, but as you progress on, more and more will show up, with their more and more powerful variants of those zombies with them. These aren't just your standard run-of-the-mill zombies, oh no. They are all quite different from each other, and all have different ways of killing you. None of these enemies ever pose a threat to you while they are alone, other than, you know, the Scrake, or the Fleshbound, and the Patriarch. Let's go over some of these zombies, shall we? We have the Clot, which is the most common enemy you'll see in the entire game. What they will do is grab onto you and keep you locked up, unable to move, until you just kill them or you just jump. They pretty much have second to no health, and they are incredibly slow, so they should never really be a problem for you to kill, unless you're like, you know, you suck or something. We also have the Siren, who's this woman that screams. Her screams can destroy rockets, grenades, and cause quite a bit of damage to you. She is the most annoying enemy in this game for this very reason. And the sound effect she makes is kind of annoying also. This guy with the chainsaw for an arm that looks like a Leatherface, called the Scrake, and the Fleshbound, which will just absolutely annihilate you if you don't have any other players shooting them with you. We also have fat asses, or bloats, that'll puke acid on you. They have a lot of health and are very slow, and usually have a gory death. There are more specimens in this game, like the Gorefast and the but if I talked about them in this video will become boring. And I don't want that to happen because I want you stupid humans to watch my crappy reviews because they is amazing. And you should watch them. And give me views. I need views, damn it! There are many murder items in this game to choose from. They range from the bitch pistol, to a good pistol, to a fire axe, to the AK-47, to the Stidge 44, to the FAL, which is super badass by the way, to the... I don't even know what this thing is, but it's badass. And it kind of looks like the smart gun from Aliens. just not as cheesy. But you're probably sitting there asking yourself, hey, where do I buy these great weapons from? Well, there's this black woman called the Trader that opens up a shop in between rounds, and she'll sell them to you. There will be an arrow telling you where to go and find her, so go do that. If you happen to figure this out by now, this happens to be a silly horror game, not a tense, true survival horror experience. As some of you may know, I love me a good horror game, even though only a handful of horror games I actually played actually managed to be scary and give me a sensation of fear, or tension. And nothing can compare to the fear that is brought upon you by playing an old Sonic game, and when Sonic starts to drown. No, Sonic, don't go, hang in there, buddy, no, Sonic! Each game consists of either up to 4, 7, or 10 rounds, depending on the game's settings. There are 5 difficulty settings to choose from. Beginner, where the game pretty much plays itself. Normal, which is fun to play. Hard, which is fun to play if you have a good team. Suicidal, which is impossible. Hell on Earth, for those of you who are absolutely insane and enjoy being raped in the butt by zombies real easily. But on any difficulty setting, there's one strategy you must do in order to stay alive. Stay with your teammates. Trust me, you are much less likely to die if you do this, and buy body armor. You will need it. Trust me. I'm a guy on YouTube, I know what I'm doing. At the end of every final round of every game, there will be a boss fight with the master of all the specimen, the Patriarch. He is overpowered as hell, and you need all 6 of you shooting that living hell out of him in order to take him down. He can annihilate you in a matter of seconds if you are all alone, so stay with your teammates and shoot the fuck out of them. There is no regenerating health, 2-weapon limit bullshit here. You have a health bar and a weight system, which will limit the amount of weapons a player can carry, which can range from weapon to weapon depending on how much the weapon weighs. I personally love this mechanic since it keeps the player from being overpowered while letting them have more than 2 weapons at once. Whoever was the game designer that came up with this mechanic, high five! Plus the soundtrack to this game is metal. Metal rules! It's sort of mostly death metal influenced instrumental metal music, and it's pretty badass. This game runs so easily on my machine. I run this game on ultra settings and I never get a frame rate lower than 60 frames per second, with VSync on. I was able to get this game running on my mom's shitty Toshiba laptop at a decent frame rate. So if you own a low-spec computer, it should run just fine. Maybe you could probably get it to work on a shitty Dell computer, but probably not since Dell computers suck ass. And if you happen to get this running on an old IBM or MS-DOS computer, you need to go outside and do something productive since you have way too much time on your hands. This is the part of the video where I state the flaws with the game and then ramble about them, but for some reason I want to put in some farting noises before I do that. When a player dies, they drop their weapon they are holding, not the most powerful weapon in their inventory. This can be very, very annoying since you can lose a very expensive weapon you just bought, but you tried to heal yourself and, you lost it because, you're trying to run from a horde of zombies trying to rape you in the butt. When you're late in the game, you're stuck with barely any money or ammo and no armor. So you're stuck with the bitch pistol and no money while your teammate has a nice full-auto shotgun to use. This is really annoying, but it isn't that big of a deal if you're playing with nice teammates and they'll loan you some money. But if you're playing with jerkbag teammates, it's frustrating. Leveling up the perks in this game takes an ungodly long time to do so. I'm 40 hours into this game, and I'm only level 3 in my commando perk. In 40 hours, I was able to get max level for my character in Fallout New Vegas while doing 2 DLC packs. So, apparently if you want to be max level in this game, you're going to need to play it for a long time. This is not a single player game. There is a single player option, but playing this game by yourself is not fun at all. This game was designed from the start to be a co-op game, so playing it by yourself results in you usually quitting and joining a multiplayer game. This does go against the ideology created by Yossi Croshaw that a game should stand on a good single player alone. I am a firm believer in this ideology, but I'm willing to make an exception for this game since it is a lot of fun. But other than that, there isn't really that many flaws in the game. I don't really do review scores since I believe you should be able to tell if something is good or not by what the reviewer says about it in the review, and not by a number. It's okay if you like review scores, but I personally do not do them. But if you really want one, I would give this game a 3.14592653589979.